Cool. All right, so it should be going by now. Link and put it in. Or actually, Adrian, can you get the link and just put it in the Discord since you got it pulled up?
Thanks. I sure can.
Thank you.
We are up on YouTube. I can see us on my phone. All right.
I keep messing with my hair. I can't help it.
I need to actually remember to spell correctly when I post announcements to everyone. Okay, it is posted in the Discord. We are officially ready.
All right, cool.
We're good.
Woo! All right, so we'll wait a few minutes for everybody to get in. I think it's probably going to be about an hour, but we're going to wait till we can get enough people in here to say hi. So if you have arrived, though, let us know in the comments and say hi. And what are you guys working on right now? Because we're getting really close to the end of the readathon. Because I see we got some people that might have showed up already.
Mm-hmm. So I am currently reading The Wicked King by Holly Black. And I'm reading it at the same time as my sister because she sent me a text this week where she just suddenly discovered The Cruel Prince. And she sent me a text asking if I had all the books. And I do. And I was rereading them. So we're reading them at the same time, which is really fun.
What does she think of them so far?
She likes them. It's been a long because we're on like this weekend trip with everybody. So I'm getting to see her reactions as we go. And it's so great.
Ooh, The Institute. Oh, okay. That's Stephen King's one of his newer ones. I'm actually working through The Stand, but I highly doubt I'm going to finish it by the end of the week. I'm probably going to have to put it off till I can get a chance to read it again. It's just, it's big. It's too big for me right now.
That's fair. Arisha on the End of Time was a good one.
Oh, it's so good. I love that series so much. Mm-hmm. Maybe He Likes You. It's a middle grade novel about sexual harassment. Oh, that's a really interesting book.
I'm about
Crescent City. I loved Crescent City so much.
I'm about halfway through Starsight.
Ooh, how are you liking it?
So good. Skyward is probably like my favorite book of the year so far.
Nice. I've heard Sanderson's really good. He's one of those fantasy authors I've been like really meaning to get into. I've got like a bunch of his stuff on my Amazon wish list right now that I'm like, oh, this is great. I can send this to like family for like Christmas, being like, hey, here you go. Here's all the books I want in one place.
That's nice.
Skyward is definitely a good one to start with.
Yeah, but that's more sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd probably say either Skyward or Mistborn is probably your best bet.
Okay. Crafton, a Swedish book, translated would be Power. Ooh, what's that one about? I've been working through the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series by Stieg Larsson, which was all translated from, I think it was Swedish. I think they were all translated up until the third book, because unfortunately he passed away afterwards, and they've been picked up afterward by, I think, the guy that translated the work. And it's pretty good if you're into like political thrillers, because it is very thrilling and interesting, but it is very based in like politics from back then, like in the mid 2000s, late 90s kind of thing. Oh, Sanderson has also a Wheel of Time series? Because I've heard of the one by Robert Jordan, but I didn't know that Sanderson also had a Wheel of Time series. Millennium, that's what it's called, the Millennium series. Yeah, I keep thinking it's like the girl with the dragon tattoo, but it's the name of the series is Millennium because it's based on the Millennium newspaper magazine thing that's there. Like they run like the news there. Oh, lost Aura.
Come on. Oh no.
Oh no, we lost Aura.
Hopefully she'll jump back on.
Yeah, she probably should.
When Jordan died, Sanderson finished the series.
Oh.
Got it. That makes sense. Well, I guess.
There we go. There you are, Aura.
Sorry, my internet's being funky today.
Oh boy. All plotted by Jordan and Sanderson. Okay. So it's kind of like with Steve Larson and David Lagenkratz is his name, because I think David Lagenkratz was like the translator for the Millennium series, and he like translated the first 3 books, and then he must have worked really well with Larson to where he continued the series. Written by someone else after Confident. Yeah, I've heard that the series itself, even after Steve Larson passed away, was really good. I just finished The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, which is book 3. I think I finished that either in May or April. I can't remember, but I really, really liked it. And so now I'm excited to get to the other, I think it's 3 books. I think there's 6 books total so far in the series. And I've heard that they just continue to, be consistently good. So. Okay, so since we got some people here, I guess let's go through kind of what we plan on for this live show. So we are the trivia for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. How we're going to have this work is we are going to have, I think it's, we're going to have Aura reading off the questions that we have prepared. And Aura, if you would, could you then also just copy paste them in the chat for people who might not be able to hear? And the first person that age reads in the chat that answers the question correctly is going to get 25 points. We only have a few questions compared to how we did things last round with Liv and I, but we had so many more questions for that. But that live show took a long time. It took like 2 hours. So to make this live show a little bit shorter for everybody, fewer questions, but worth more points. And I will be keeping track of who all answers. Adrian's going to tell me everyone who answers it. I'm going to list them down here so that after the live show, I'll go into our spreadsheet and add you guys' points to your groups so that we have everybody totaled up.
So when you post your answer, it would be really helpful for us if you would put just the starting letter of your house and then your answer so that we can really quickly find you. That way we don't have to be hunting through all of the pages for your name.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, we said we were going to do though. We said we were going to give you guys the answers to the riddles.
Yes, I almost forgot.
We can go ahead and do that. I've already closed the forum, so you cannot submit your responses anymore. So wait for that. But we said we would give you guys the answers to our riddles. So do you guys want to do yours first, or let's do it first? I can do mine, I guess. So mine was the I am pretty, I am soft, I am sweet, and I'm meant to have a special day. What am I? My answer was cake. So I know people really struggled with mine. So sorry, I didn't think it was too complicated, but apparently it was.
So then mine was I am born from and die from, essentially I am born from and die to the same pile of ashes, kind of something like that. I can't remember exactly how I worded it. But that was the answer for that is Phoenix.
Mine was there's always one that knows me, but if anyone knows me, I no longer exist. What am I? And my answer was secret.
And then Liv cannot be with us today, but she had an anagram which ended up, the answer was a Cornish pixie.
Yep.
Okay. So if you guys are ready, then we will start the questions. So let us know in the comments if you guys are ready for us to start doing the questions so that we know if you guys are ready for some answers, to give us some answers. Okay, looks like we got a couple of people ready.
All right. Well, then why don't we just get started?
Okay, so the first question is, who are the Dursleys having over for dinner?
I feel like we need to just start playing Jeopardy music the entire time.
I know, rather than just sitting in silence. Nope, not. Caitlin got it for Slytherin, and Mrs. Mason. The Mason.
Yes. Okay.
So they were potential clients. You are correct. They were potential clients.
Aunt Marge is in book 3.
Yeah.
And they would have to retain that information for the next one.
Who tries to stop Harry from going to Hogwarts?
I see Caitlin must have got it first.
Yep, Caitlin got it first. We got Dobby again.
All right, cool.
What does Dobby say he will have to do to punish himself for warning Harry?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Alyssa says iron his hands, but that was not. We got the right one. Put his hand in the oven door.
Okay, and Agnes, I think that's one of, she's Hufflepuff.
Yep, that's the Yeah, he had to shut his hands or his ears, one of the two, in the oven doors.
Okay. What Muggle trick did the Weasley twins use to get Harry's chest? Crap, I put the answer.
Darn it!
Whoops.
Truthfully, that happened the last time too. So, all right. We'll make sure everybody gets that point because
Sorry, my bad.
that's all good. All right. So I gotta figure out, how do I figure out who all is watching?
I would just say we can go back through the comments when we're done and see who's all
giving
an answer at the end rather than try and do it right now.
Yeah, I know. That takes forever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to the next one.
How do Harry and the Weasleys travel to Diagon Alley?
Oh, Caitlin got it. Blue powder.
The flying car was how Harry and Ron
got to school.
Yeah. That's not one of the questions, is it? I haven't looked at it.
I don't think so.
But it's not.
Okay.
I tried to get the put in questions in the document in like chronological order through the book so that I knew.
Yeah.
But because I was putting in mine as I was listening.
Yeah, I was trying to put mine in the middle, like where they belonged.
Yeah.
Where does Harry end up when he uses the flu powder?
Caitlin got it again. Nocturne Alley.
Caitlin, you are on a roll, man. Awesome.
Liv was not kidding when she said the Slytherins are intense.
Yeah, you guys are on it.
So Agnes, though, I think she's also right because Caitlin said Nocturne Alley, which is correct.
Yeah.
I think Agnes, though, maybe they should get a point too because it was specifically Morgan and Burke's, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He ended up through their specific shop.
Yeah, and so that, okay, so I'm going to give Agnes a point too because that is also correct. It's just more specific.
Yeah, people don't like playing trivia games with me either because I'm a wealth of useless knowledge.
So, in what greenhouse do we first meet the mandrakes?
Ooh. See, I wouldn't have known that off the top of my head. I'd have to go back to the book for that one.
Same.
Agnes, very good. For 3.
I see Caitlin as the first one.
Oh, it is. See, I definitely is. Yep, you both had it. You guys are posting like in the same second, I think, because I have my phone and then our chat on my computer, and it's Caitlin in one and Agnes in the other for who has it first. So it's just who I'm looking at, which device I'm looking at. You guys are posting at the exact same time.
Yeah. So should I? What should I do? Should I just give it to both or what?
I don't know.
Because if it's coming in at the exact same time, that's hard to decide.
Yeah.
Let's do both for this one, and then I'll try and be a little bit more.
Okay.
All about pick a device.
Stick with one.
Yeah.
Why was the Gryffindor ghost or necklace upset?
Caitlin Bell, rejected by the Headless Hunt.
Who got that one?
Caitlin, again.
Okay. Decapitated Podmore.
This one. Who was it that cursed the bludger?
Ooh, I see Alyssa got that one.
First one.
All right.
What club did Professor Lockhart start?
My husband is behind my computer and he's whispering answers and things in the background.
George, stop it.
I'll be leaving shortly.
Caitlin again.
No,
Nope.
Agnes is the first one this time.
Yep.
Dueling Club.
Good job, guys. You guys are doing really well.
Doing excellent.
Why does everyone suspect Harry of being the heir of Slytherin?
Your faces at George are quite hilarious.
With the whispering answers, like I really hope I can't hear you. Because he is getting them right. You did technically get it.
I think Caitlin got that one again.
Yep, Caitlin got it right. He was a partial tongue. Or partial mouth? Is it partial tongue or partial mouth? I can't remember.
I think it's partial tongue.
Yeah.
Who opened the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago?
Tongue is the language, mouth is the person who can speak it. That makes sense.
Alyssa? Eliza?
No, I think Caitlin.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, I would be curious if any of you know his full name.
That's not a question we're going to answer for points, but does anybody
No,
know?
I'm just curious, like if that's something people remember. I never remember his middle name.
I remember it.
I do too.
Yeah, Caitlin knew it. I can't.
Marvolo.
Marvolo. Middle. Yeah.
And honestly, if anybody else, like, I love the movies, don't get me wrong, but I think one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie of Chamber of Secrets is when he does the writing of his name, and it's like,
Yeah.
from an animation standpoint, that is like so cool. Like, I remember that blew my mind as a kid. I was like, oh, so great.
I remember that being like the best plot twist ever.
Yeah.
Like the first time.
It was so great.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Who was blamed for opening the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago?
Oh, apparently his name in French is Tom Elvis Jedusor. Interesting. Because I know, like, because I took French in college, and so I know that a lot of, like, translations are very different. Like, one of my favorite book series, Beautiful Creatures, they call it Dicis Lunes, I think, which is 16 moons.
Ooh.
And that's actually, like, the song that they, like, use over the course of the book, which I thought that was really interesting.
So we have our first Ravenclaw who got it correct.
Yay! Okay, cool.
Cozy Antagonist, which you're quick create on the Discord, right?
Yeah, that's their Discord main.
That's what I thought. I'm starting to associate to people.
Who was the student that died when the Chamber of Secrets was opened?
Juju Stormy's Triple Fate. Oh, I think I remember that word. Like, learning about it. Like, there's so many different, like, phrases and stuff that I loved learning when I took French, and I wish I would keep up with it, but I just don't.
Agnes got it first. Moaning Myrtle.
Woohoo!
Myrtle Warren. I didn't know her last name. Moaning
I don't
Myrtle.
think I did either.
Y'all already know some more information about this than I do.
Fake fans. Which professor tells the students about the Chamber of Secrets?
That's where her last name was revealed in The Cursed Child.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, I haven't read that in a long time.
I skim read it, so honestly, I would not pertain to much of
Cursed
that.
Child doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true. I wish it didn't exist, really. It's a very poor extension of the story, in my opinion.
Caitlin got it again. Professor.
Cool.
I try not to remember it. It's trash.
It is such trash. Like, it would have been fine, I think, if we had the main plot of it being, like, Harry's last, his youngest child going through school. Like, I was fine with him being friends with Malfoy's kid. Like, I was like, oh, maybe it's just one of those things where, the kids don't have the same issues as the parents did. But then you bring in this female character that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's on her heritage. And I'm like, that wouldn't have happened. No way.
Yeah. McGonagall was in the movie, which that was the question I put in. And I put down McGonagall, even though I read the book, because I was like half paying attention to the audiobook and I heard that it was Transfigurations and I just automatically assumed it was McGonagall. So I also screwed that up and I put down the question.
We caught her though. Don't worry. We caught her before
They fact-checked me. It was fine.
Well, I remembered because in that scene, everybody was like half asleep.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, he's talking about the thing we want to know about. And they're all super excited. And he didn't want to talk about it, but he was like, this is the only time anyone's excited in this class.
Basically.
Yeah.
And what was funny was it wasn't even like they even changed the person who asked about it. Was I think in the movie it was Hermione, but it wasn't her that asked the question. I don't think in the book.
I don't.
It was somebody
I don't
else.
think so either. I think it was like a side character. All right. So what is the password to Dumbledore's office?
That's a good one.
Caitlin got it again. Lemon drop.
Woo!
You're fast.
Yeah. Lemon sherbet. That's close, but no cigar.
Candy. Yeah.
It's always like I think it is always something candy based or sweets, if I remember correctly. Like I don't think it's anything other than that.
What family does Dobby serve?
Oh, okay. Looks like Agnes got that one first.
Serves the Malfoy. I almost gave away an answer for a future question.
Ooh, don't do that.
Wait.
I'm notorious for doing that apparently, so I have to like be careful, especially when I don't have the questions up. That's why I was like, wait, is the flying car one of the questions? I did that a couple times, I think, during the last live show.
We don't have as many questions this time around, so we got to be extra careful.
Yeah.
How does Dobby gain his freedom?
Another one of my favorite scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good.
So Caitlin says a sock, and Agnes says Harry gave him a sock. So yeah, Caitlin says a sock that was thrown by Mr. Malfoy, which is correct.
Yeah.
And he's the person who put. So yes, yeah, because Alyssa is correct. Harry gives him a sock in a book that his master actually hands to him.
Yeah, I think. So who do we want to go with then? Like, do we want to go with the more specific answer, or do we want to go with the first one that came up?
Caitlin, because she also knew the backing. She just answered that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Harry put his own sock in the book and then gave it to Lucius, who just chucked it at Dobby. And Dobby caught it and then was free.
I'm kind of sad, to be honest, now that I think about it. I don't think Dobby ever comes up in book 3. We don't see him again until book 4.
Is he not?
I don't think so. Because I know he comes up in book 4 because that's when Hermione creates Spew, which was completely left out of the movies.
It was, yes.
And that pissed me off to no end. But I don't think we see him at all in book 3.
I think that there might be like a scene with like the kitchen elves where Harry finds out that the elves are the ones that actually cook all the food.
Oh, you might be right.
But I don't remember specifically what book it's from.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was a scene in book 3 or if that was still book 4.
Yeah, Caitlin says you don't see him again until they discover him in the kitchens in book 4.
Okay.
Okay, 2 more.
Oh boy, we're already down to 2? Holy crap.
We didn't have that many. We're going quick.
Yeah.
What are the 2 things that Dumbledore sent to aid Harry in the fight against the basilisk?
Okay, Agnes got that one first. Fox and the Sorting Hat.
Mm-hmm.
What did Harry pull out of the Sorting Hat during the fight against the basilisk?
I knew there had to be another question. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, also, somebody got that a little early.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Caitlin looks like got that one. Sort of Gryffindor.
Part of me wants to give Emily some points, though.
Yeah, I know.
We can do that.
Because that was just too good.
That was just perfect.
Yeah.
I say we give Emily some extra points because.
Yep, I got her down. Because a little early to the party with that one, but you still got it. All right, so that is all the questions we had. So thank you everybody for participating. I think that we can maybe stay a little longer though, just kind of chat with you guys. Maybe we can even do a live reading sprint if that's what you guys want. We do them all the time on Discord, as you guys know, but I wondered if maybe like since we've got still like half an hour, maybe we do a half-hour reading sprint or something like that. What do you guys want to do?
I'm good with that. What does everybody in the chat think? You guys want to do a reading sprint with us?
Give me an excuse to actually pick up the stand a little bit more.
Yeah.
You need every excuse you can get with that thing.
Truthfully, and I was telling this to Adrian Ara before the live show started, is that I have for July a really big reading month coming up because I'm going to be reading a bunch of different stuff. If you guys have watched any of my videos on my channel talking about a bunch of different books I want to do, you guys won't be able to see it too much, but all of these books right here, they're stacked on top of each other, are books I want to read in July because they're by authors of color, LGBTQ authors, books about mental health, and also books by trans and non-binary authors. And I have even more on my Kindle that I want to read. So like the stand's going to have to be put away for a while. So if I can get any more of it done this month, I'd be happy.
Awesome. Okay, so maybe we can like do like maybe like a 15-minute sprint and then just chat until we meet the hour mark.
Works for me. All right, I will get a timer set up on my phone.
Wedding planning is a lot.
Oh, I am right there with you, Caitlin. Oh my gosh. Truthfully, I'm getting married October 31st this year. And so we're trying to even figure out if that's going to even still be possible. Which we're thinking it might, but we're, not counting our chickens before we hatch. But yeah, congratulations. Like, that's awesome. I know your stress and your struggle with that because I'm in the same boat.
I can't even imagine planning a wedding right now.
I have so many people, like so many friends that were supposed to get married this month that had to push back their wedding. Like one person pushed it all the way back to September. I even have a friend who wasn't supposed to get married till November, and they decided to instead elope in August because they didn't think that by November things would be going over. But I'm just at a point where I'm like, I think things are going to be okay, but if they're not, it's fine. We'll figure something out. Maybe we just have to have like everybody wear masks. Everybody, we'll have to make sure everyone's seated away from each other, that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck with it because that's just, that's hard stuff to deal with, trying to figure out how to handle all of it. So, I mean, Robert and I, my fiance, we're trying to like figure out like we were talking last night about budgeting some stuff out because we just moved to this house here like now almost 2 months ago, and so we're really having to rebudget everything to figure out, you know, what are the last things we need to pay for. We got our DJ, we got our photographer. Now we just have the little stuff to take care of, and then food and stuff later on. So I think we're having like less than 100 people at our ceremony, but way more people at the actual reception. So I need to figure out how that's going to work with this COVID stuff. So
Cautiously optimistic is always a good way to go into that.
Yep. All right. So let's do, starting now, the reading sprint, since we're at a 5-minute mark. We're gonna go 15 minutes, and so we will read till about 12:50, or well, here at least. Yeah. All right. So let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, guys, that's 15 minutes. This scare you?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so how many pages do you guys read?
I got 13.
Okay, I got about 10.
I got 14.
Nice. Oh, so truthfully, I'm not that far into yet. I just got to like the part where Stu's already like being quarantined off, and they've moved a lot of the people out of the town to like quarantine them, and he's trying to get answers, but nobody's telling him anything. So, all right, so got a few more minutes. Do you guys have any questions regarding any of your prompts, or do you guys want to like just talk about anything that you might have been having issues with? We would love to know so that come the next round we have, you know, some good feedback going forward with what we should do.
12 pages is a good number too. I've had a lot of fun this round.
Yeah.
Like I think each round is getting better and better.
I think so too.
First round.
It's just getting more fun, I think, too, because we're just getting a lot of people usually. Like this round, we had way more people, I think, join than we did the last round, which was super, super fun.
Having a ton of people to like actually talk to and participate and do sprints with is a lot of fun. Even though I don't get to do sprints very much.
Yeah, I very rarely like. I can do like the shorter sprints, but even trying to like find time in the day to do those sprints is difficult because if I do want to read, I just want to read like for an extended period of time. Oh, so you think you've read more books, Caitlin? I mean, that's really good because that's kind of the whole point is you read as much as you absolutely can, you know, and I think I read more than I expected I would, but I still haven't completed everything off my TBR.
Say I changed every single prompt on my TBR. Every single one. I think there were maybe 2 or 3 that I kept the same. And then the Death Day Party prompt, I had picked the book Amber and Dusk to read for that one. And then partway through, like I started, I'm like, I just don't want to read this. I'm like, okay, I'll change it to something else. And then I started that book, got like 3 pages in, and I didn't like it at all. So I swapped back to Amber and Dusk, and I finished that one. So like I changed it and then went back.
I switched a lot of mine too, like the majority probably. I think I only read like 2 or 3 books I said I was gonna read.
Yes, Agnes, the house points in the channel will get updated pretty regularly. At least on like I tend to update them almost as soon as I get people telling me that they've completed books. But that's not the same for everybody, but at least once a day they will be updated. Usually by the end of the day, they will be as updated as they can be.
Yeah. And then everything, if you're wondering like if House Points channel is correct, there's a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet where we're calculating everyone's points is linked in the announcements page. So you can always see like all the information in that too. So yeah, it's pretty regularly updated. You read 16 books in May, and this month you read 52. That's awesome.
Jeez. Holy crap, Caitlin.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
That's like my yearly goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think someone on Hufflepuff, they have read like they've completed all of the prompts. They've completed all the prompts yesterday, and I think they've read at least 30 books. But the majority, like I think about half of them were graphic novels, which I'm like, that's awesome. That is like super cool. That's how you can get some really quick points, like going. And especially like if you got a series that you want to read like back to back, perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's awesome though. 52 books. I can only dream of getting to that point. This probably could count for 52 books in one thing.
That is hefty book.
Yikes.
I feel like I would read a lot more books if I liked short books, but I don't. I like books that are like at least 500 to 600 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to read a lot less volume, but a lot longer books than most people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same though. Like I feel like a lot of short books, like I just, I don't read them nearly as often. But then like the big ones, I'm like, let's go, let's get through these ones.
I just love like how the arcs seem to be like more, especially in like long books that have long series. Like that's where I want to be.
Yeah. Agnes,
But I want to read the Brandon Sanderson series, the ones that are like 1,500 pages and there's like 5 of them or something.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
But I'm scared that I'm not gonna love it, so I've just been like putting it off.
Not the time.
Yeah, because I mean that's one of those things too, where like a lot of the bigger books, like ones like The Stand, where they're like super super long. I'm almost terrified to read them because I'm like I don't want to spend all that time reading it and find that I hate it. But this one's for a specific series I'm doing, so I want to read it for that particular purpose. And I like it so far. Like it's not giving me any issues. It's gonna take me a long time to get through it.
And specifically like long fantasy series, like you don't know much about it going into it because it would spoil it. But it's like 2,000 pages. So you're like, I don't know what this is about, but it sounds good.
Yeah. That's kind of how I was though with the Song of Ice and Fire series. Like I was terrified about how long they were, especially like the last 2 books that he's come out with, because the last one was by itself like over 1,000 pages. And I really liked them, but I was scared going into them because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like these. These are like super, super high fantasy. Like, I don't know if I'm going to like be able to follow it. I will say, I think if you're ever going to pick up a series like that or any kind of like really high fantasy with long, like being like super big books, one of the things I found to be really helpful was listening to the audiobook and reading the physical one at the same time, especially with the Song of Ice and Fire, because Roy Dotrice, rest his soul, he was an amazing narrator, like awesome. Made it feel super, super like immersed. It was awesome.
I find especially with Song of Ice and Fire too, it's easier because you're changing perspectives every chapter, so you have to like re-immerse yourself every chapter into that character.
Yeah, the last book I had to go back and forth with like the Wikipedia, like the summaries that they created on like the Wikipedia page, because if I ever went back to another character, I'm like, okay, I have to look up what happened the last time because now I can't remember. But that actually kind of made it fun for me because it gave me the ability to like refresh my mind and get a little bit more immersed in those characters too, like you're saying.
A Song of Ice and Fire, the first book of Game of Thrones, was the first adult fantasy book I ever read. And it was like a complete culture shock for me. But I loved it. And that's like really what got me into adult high fantasy. But after reading so much young adult fantasy and falling in love with young adult fantasy, going into adult fantasy was difficult because it's so dense and everything is important. So you have to remember all of those minor details, especially in A Song of Ice and Fire, because everything comes back around eventually.
Right. Okay, so yeah, Agnes, I think that's what I would do is like if I'm going on vacation, that's when I would take my big ones, because at least like on vacations, like I know I'm gonna just not really do a lot unless like we're going on vacation for a specific purpose. Like I think this coming a little more than a week from now, my fiance is taking me out on vacation for my birthday. I don't think I'm going to bring a book with that because I don't know what he has planned. Like he's completely surprising me. But if we had just like gone on like a vacation where we weren't specifically doing anything, I'd take a bigger book just because I know I would have the time to like really get into that.
Yeah.
Well, in the past year, I've also started reading multiple books at once. I never thought I'd be the person that can do that.
I have too. Oh my god!
But if you're reading a long book, like over 1,000 pages, you're gonna get burnt out by the end if you don't do that. At least that's how it is for me.
Yeah, I'm technically stuck between like 4. I've got The Stand. I have The Aeneid by Virgil. I've got A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin, which is just short stories, and I've read the first one, so now I just got to read the other ones. And the Thirst series by Christopher Pike. Like I'm in the middle, like the omnibus I have, I'm technically in the middle of because I just finished the first story in that one.
I read Outlander this month. I didn't love it. It wasn't great.
Eye of the World is pretty much your standard fantasy first book. It's basically Lord of the Rings or Wizard's First Rule. I really struggle with books 4 through 7, even though most people love them. But I will warn you that late in the series, there is a book that is pretty much just the end chunk of the previous book, but told from different characters' perspectives. That's kind of how books 4 and 5 of the Song of Ice and Fire series were. Was like one book was some of the characters with their whole perspectives, and then the 5th book, Dance with Dragons, was the rest of the characters and their perspectives, and then there was a point where they converged. But I can see how that would be jarring for a lot of people if they didn't know that going into it for that kind of a series, like a fantasy like that.
I'm curious if what's his name, Jamie in Outlander? Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Is he the same in the show that he is in the book? Or is he different? Because he's really not. He's kind of problematic.
He's pretty much the same. But in the show, you get to see him like you get through it faster because once he figures out like she's from the future and she gets to do that, he kind of does better.
I was shook when I was reading that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because he really wants her to be, just the same as the time frame. But then in the show, you skip so much of the book just through it so much faster that he just gets better so much faster.
Yeah.
So I've watched all but the new season of the show, and I've read the first book, and I have started the second book like 3 or 4 times. And the second book is so hard for me to read.
I don't think that I'm going to.
I have like the first 4, and I own them, so I want to read them.
Right, because you have them.
Because I have them.
Yeah.
But like the first one, like the second book starts back in the present day, like just all of a sudden you're back in present day for like the first book, and it's so much. It's just so hard because I'm like, this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah, it was
the worst.
It was a little rattling when I got to like that middle part. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, he is mostly just confused in the show. He's a much gentler person. Like he's portrayed much more gently in the show than he is in the book.
Okay, so I guess that's where we can end it, because Adri is off with her family. She's out on vacation technically right now, so I don't want to take her away too much from her family.
I've been hiding out for a while. I can see my kids too. So I'm like, they're in the care of my family, which they are great with them, but also my kids are a handful.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everybody's points put into the spreadsheet, and then everyone will, the averages will get updated. We'll try to update the averages as we can. Liv might not be able to change hers yet because she wasn't even able to join us today. She had a lot of stuff going on this weekend that just kind of ran with everything going on. So Slytherin, your guys' house points will be adjusted later once she's able to hop on. But we'll get everybody in the spreadsheet at least situated. So thanks everybody so much for joining us.
Still read until midnight on 30th.
Yes.
The readathon is over. Keep turning in your points. Yes.
We are done at 11:59 p.m. in your time zone. So when that hits, that's when the readathon ends on June 30th. So you still have time to finish your books, get more points in, all those things. And by the time that we close off the readathon, we will also announce the winner of the House Cup based on the highest average. So get those books finished, get your points in, and we will be still around to do, reading sprints, all that kind of stuff. So feel free to reach out to any of us if you guys have questions, if you guys have anything that you need to discuss with us. But thanks everyone so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you all back in the Discord.
Bye.
Bye.